As of now, we have a $300 order for Zion Orphanage.
Delia Mandia, a NYU sophomore, knows what it's like to be afraid to fall asleep. When Mandia was just 3 years old, she was diagnosed with her first autoimmune disease. Since then, she has lived in constant pain that she believes translated into nightmares.
I thought everybody woke up screaming every night. It wasn't until I was a teenager that I find out, no, that's not normal.
Now Mandia is attempting to oust one nightmare at a time, on a worldwide scale. Last year, she launched a nonprofit while she was sick in the hospital called Night Night Monster. She and her small team of helpers make stuffed whimsical monster plushes and ship them to children who suffer from nightmares caused by trauma.
I wanted something to occupy my time. And I had these cotton balls upstairs. I was like, oh, I could stuff a doll with them. So one here, one, boop, 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 boop.
Mandia doesn't claim to just be struck with the idea to create this vast growing foundation. Instead, she believes it generated itself.
People always say that I had an aha moment, I had an epiphany. That was not the case with Night Night Monster. Night Night Monster just developed on its own, and it created itself. And I think it was created itself because there was a need.
And with that, Delia started sewing up to 30 dolls a week and delivering them to children around her neighborhood in Staten Island.
Just by word of mouth, these nightmare-fighting dolls spread across the island and spread up and down the East Coast.
Delia now ships these little monsters across the globe to places like India, Haiti, the Gaza Strip, Chile, and Ireland. Shipping proves to be quite costly. Mandia estimates she spends up to $200 a month.
So if we're shipping, let's say, to India, we'll say $2 to $2.50 a doll. If we're shipping to Russia, maybe it's $1.95 a doll. But that's assuming that you're shipping in bulk. If it's shipping individualized, that price goes way up.
Night Night Monster relies solely on donations from everyday people who stumble across its social media. As of now, the nonprofit funds are particularly low.
I wish I could say that I have this big guy behind me who's like, oh, here, Delia. No, I think when you're trying to do a good thing, people are going to see it, and the universe is going to allow things to work out in your favor.
Mandia was right. People did notice her doing a good thing. She even gained the recognition of former President Bill Clinton. He invited her to participate in his annual Clinton's Global Initiative Challenge, which took place in Washington, D.C. last weekend. Clinton Global Initiative University is a convention of young humanitarians from college campuses around the world. Night Night Monster won in the Peace and Human Rights category.
The 42nd President of the United States was on stage, and when he said, the most creative nonprofit started by young people, the most promising, and then he said, like, Night Night Monster. Oh my God, I screamed. It was so surreal, because who am I? I'm just some kid from Staten Island, New York.
But the kid from Staten Island is doing things way bigger than she modestly admits. Orphans from India sent back pictures with their monsters to show just how much they meant.
It was a moment that just blew my mind, because here I am, that's something that I made in my dorm room, right? And now it's halfway across the world, in a country I've never been to, in the hands of a kid I never met, that's parents died of HIV/AIDS. This whole thing is crazy and overwhelming, but it's worth it.
This month, Mandia has a big order to fill, with $450 to India, $60 to Slavic countries, and $50 to Chilean orphans from the 2010 tsunami. Mandia is destroying nightmares, one monster at a time. For NYU Tonight, this is Michelle Powers.